be glory to you, be honor to you, be dominion to you, be might to you, be power both now and forever. To you alone we give praise and honor to. As we thank you for the life you've rendered unto us. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we exalt, we extol, and we magnify that name. That is Yahweh our Elohim. Who gave us the person, Yeshua HaMashiach, to send us and show us how to live in you. In the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, be glorified in all things done and spoken. We say and pray. Amen. All right. Good to be with you guys. Glad to see everybody is ready and prepared. Let's get started into the writ tonight. I will be sending up the necessary individuals where they need to be and to do what they need to do. We'll be bringing in a little bit of the conversation today. There was a question that is on the platform, I think, from last week, but I can't seem to make sense of the question. And I'm going to need some help doing that because it dealt with what we discussed in last week's programming. So I'm going to ask those who can, I'm going to send it in the room. I think it was sent to a couple of you, and I'm asking for some help to understand how to read it. Because, I'm not getting it. I'm just not getting it. I'm not getting the question. So let's look at it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And we're in here for Bible Book Club. So Bereishit chapter number 24. We stopped off at verse 6. I want to go back to verse number 1 just to bring some light to things so that we all understand what it is we're doing with it and how it should be done. And we work from that point. And that's what we do. We do well. All righty. Next thing we need to make sure we understand is what, in fact, the Word of Elohim is teaching us at this moment about what we are to do and how we are to respond, how we're going to act, project ourselves, and everything that's according to His Word. So let's get into the Torah. Let's get into Bereishit chapter 24. Let's get into verse number 1 and go from there. I can't do it to him. I got this question. I got to figure out how to answer. I got to do this question, but I don't understand the question. It was sent to me today from our team, and I want to make sure I get it, but I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the question. Father, help me, teach me, show me, reveal to me what I need to see here. All right. So it states that the eldest servicing servant should have known how intentional his master's wishes were. To me, possibly lacking any belief that he would find a wife for Yitzhak. It was as if Abraham trusted him, but he did not trust the word spoken by Abraham. He served Abraham the longest, held the responsibility of all Abrahams, but the greatest responsibility was to follow the instruction by Abraham, but yet he doubted. Was this about being an overseer of earthly possessions without any insight for spiritual possessions? All right, if anybody else understood that question, y'all help me. Or maybe some of you might have that question in your hands right now. So if you know it, you understand it, help me out. Could please. All right, so let's get into this study. I'm going to need a reader. Do I have a reader for Genesis chapter 24? Can I get a reader for Genesis 24 verses 1? You gotta come out of that though.
See what I read. Here's your apostle.
So, Marie, can you hear me? All right, so let's read Genesis 1:4 verses 6. Speak something.
So what verse, sir? And Abraham was old and well stricken with age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that was over all that he had, put my
verse?
Yeah, you're in the matrix, Apostle. We can't hear you.
For the sake of audio, could you please read again, Marie? It was very low coming through his Facebook and YouTube, and so the mic didn't pick you up well. Is it possible you could just read it again louder for us, please? I remember from last time that there was quite a bit of conversation about understanding what Abraham meant by his land and why he didn't want his son Isaac to go back. Does anyone want to kind of recite or just refresh our memories on what was the discussion and what did we kind of come to at the end of our discussion about why Abraham did not want his son to go back? Anyone want to share on that?
Well, I wasn't there. This is in Gozai, but it's sort of laid out in the following verses. The the Lord, Yahweh, sent him to this land and said that specifically that this land was for his offspring. So why leave the blessing? That's the reverse direction.
And I think that's kind of the summary we came up with. Anyone else have some comments or what they're seeing in those scriptures? So we were just reviewing how we ended last session, and how we got to the idea, or the understanding of why Abraham did not want Isaac to go back. So we were sharing and turn it back over to you.
You're still in the matrix, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what I want to get you guys to do is just read. I'm gonna have to join in whenever I'm having a clear vein of this. So if I have a reader, C Marie, if you're capable of reading for us at this moment, I'd appreciate if you could do that. So let's take the book Bereishit, chapter 24, verses 1 through 6. Let's begin to put it down in context, and let's read chapters 1. And until I get a clear space where if I need to stop you or someone has a question, let's continue to read the writ. So we know where Abraham is asking for an instruction here. He is not mad with his servant. He is not upset with his servant. He is making things very clear. This isn't become an issue of him not trusting his servant, nor of his servant not trusting him. It is more the issue of knowing what need be done and how the things for getting done shall be accomplished. Abraham is giving an instruction to his servant to get his son a wife in the event he should pass away, and at the end of the day, not be who he not be able to have his wife in the same concept that it is. So let's read the chapter, verse 1. C. Marie, if you will read. I did hear you reading last time. I need a little bit more louder, please, and I'd appreciate it. Look at me calling the pot calling the kettle black, and I can't even get a good signal. Go ahead, read it for us, please. C. Marie. Pick up from 1 so you have it in context, please.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house that ruled over all that he had, Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by Yahweh, Elohim of heaven, and Elohim of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of Canaanites, among whom I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure, the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I need bring thy son again unto the land from which he promised? And Abraham said unto him, Beware that thou bring not my son there again. Yahweh Elohim of heaven, which took me from my father's house, and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, that thou swear unto me, saying, unto thy seed.
Okay, you gotta read that. You gotta read that better. I'm sorry. So back up to verse number. Back up to verse number 6. Pick it up again from there, please.
And Abraham said unto him, Beware that thou bring not my son there again.
So he's saying to make sure that y'all beware, servant. Don't bring my son to that land to get a bride, but bring the bride out of that land to my son. Do not take my son to that land. All right, continue reading.
Yahweh Elohim of heaven, which took me from my father's house, from the land of my kindred, which spake unto me, that swear unto me, saying, Unto thy seed will I give thee this land. He shall send his angels before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be cleared from this my oath. Only bring not my son there again.
All right, so what he's saying is, when we read this properly, is that if the woman won't follow you, sir, if I take you down here and the woman won't follow you back, then you're clear from the oath. If you find the woman that you know my nature, my mindset, you know my taste and what we're looking for, if that person you find, which Yahweh will lead you to, should not desire to follow you back here, then you're free of this oath. Everything is good. You're straight. Just do not take my son, no matter what, back down there to that area and into that region for life. Because the promise is here in Canaan that we're going to have it. And if he goes down there to marry, he'll stay there, might get trapped down there. He needs to be where we're told the prophecy and promise will happen. All right. Verse number 9 says, and the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abram, his master, and swear to him concerning that matter. And the servant then took 10 camels of his master's, and departed from all the good of his master. He departed, rather, for all the good of his master was in his hands. So let's read verse 9 again, because I read that wrong. Verse 9 says, and the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, who is his master, and swear unto him concerning that matter. And the servant then took 10 camels from the camels of Abraham, and he departed, because all the goods of Abraham were in the hand of his servant. He arose to Mesopotamia. He went up to the city of Nahor. Verse 11 says, and he made his camels to kneel down without the city by the well of water at the time of the evening, even the time that the women go out to draw water. One 1,000, two 1,000, three 1,000, four 1,000, five 1,000. And verse 14 says, and it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink, and she shall say, drink. Pardon me. Let me go back to verse 7. I was so worried about y'all catching something, but I forgot to read it right. So verse 11 again says, in Bereishit 24:11, he made the camels to kneel down without the city by the well of the water. And that evening, it was around the time that the women would go out to draw water. I pause for effect. Verse 12 says, and he said, Yahweh my Elohim, of my master Abraham, I pray unto you, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city will come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down your pitcher, I pray you, that I may drink, and shall say, drink, and I will give your camels water also. Let the same person, let that be the damsel, let that same person, as he says, be anointed for your servant Isaac, and thereby shall I know that thou hast shown kindness unto our master, my master. And it shall come to pass before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, and the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. One 1,000, two 1,000, three 1,000. Somebody speaking? I can't hear you.
See Marie?
All right, go. Go see Marie.
So when he nailed the camels down, he nailed the camels outside the town.
I am not understanding your words. I'm sorry. What did it say again?
Where he nailed the camels down at, when he first arrived, he was at the spot where he knew the women would come, who served their families to gather the water. He waited by the well to receive the water, much like Miss Yeshua
See,
did.
Maria, it seems like your head keeps moving from your microphone, beloved. I need your head to stay on the microphone so we can hear you. Okay, maybe it's dying on you. I'm having a hard time. It might just be me, beloved. So while we wait on that, verse 11 says, "It came to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say to, let down your pitcher, I pray, that I may drink. And that she will say, let this be our cue, Yahweh, between me and you. She will say, cool, I'll give you drink, and I'll also give you camel's drink. Let that be the one, Yahweh. Boom, let that be her. Okay, see, Marie, are you prepared? Are you ready now?
Can you hear me better?
Can anybody hear better? Y'all
Yes, better. Much better. Thank you.
Yes, I thought I was tripping.
Amen.
Okay.
Yes, something like that. Okay. What I was saying before, when he had the camel to kneel down at, he had to kneel down at the spot where he knew all the women would come to fetch the water, much like Yeshua did when he had to meet with the Samaria. He knew where to meet the woman at. He knew exactly.
Don't go there. But okay.
But
you don't want to make that comparison.
No, it's not a comparison, but it's just a person, not comparing the two items, but just a comparison. This is where the woman came to get the water and fat.
Okay, so let's make that clear. Let's make that clear for everybody. Yeshua did not go to the well to meet a woman.
Right.
Yeshua went to the city, and to get to the city, you pass that well. Right. At that well, that's when he saw that particular woman.
Right. But I'm just saying that the well is where the woman came, where the young maidens came to fetch the water for their families at a particular time every day. Before they could either water the flocks or get the water for the household. So he knew exactly where to go for him to be able to find the maiden for Isaac. And then he continued, he prayed, though he had thought that she may not want to come. He knew to pray to Abraham's God in order to understand that he needed his assistance to know who it is that he needed to select. It wasn't going to be by his understanding, but by the direction of Elohim's understanding who to select for Isaac.
First off, I want to be very clear about something because I've heard it said this way before. It sort of kind of puts a narrative out there that we need not discuss inaccurately. And this is not the God of Abraham to the servant, because the servant serves the same God. He's praying to his God. He's praying to he just has respect and reverence that he knows this God through Abraham. He says, the way he prays, it's to that end. But this servant is clearly a servant of Yahweh our Elohim because he's a servant to Abraham. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Does everybody else understand that? So this is not a servant who's praying to Abraham's God and he got his own God. This is his God. Yahweh is his God. Otherwise, the prayer can't be answered. Otherwise, Abraham would not trust him, would not have him as his servant. Not that close. Your hand on my thigh? Yeah, no. We not right. Who you with? We not together on this. No, two can't walk together except they be agreed. So this servant is not just praying to the God of Abraham. The servant's God is the God that is Abraham's God. Does that make sense? Now, see, Marie, you did nothing wrong, but the way that can be left out there when discussed, it'll come off as if the servant prayed to Abraham's God, in a way that, let's just say, the king of Gerar did when they were going through what they were going through. All right? So, good ad. Were you done with your point, Miss Marie?
Yes, sir.
Why you sound down? Is that you back on your microphone again?
No, I'm not down.
Did I stub you somewhere?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Anybody else with a thought? I left y'all there for moments and I paused. Anybody? But very good draw out, C. Marie.
Well, Shalona.
Shalom.
Shalom. So my question is, it says here that he went there at the particular time when the women went to draw water. And what significance is that?
Because the customs of most systems back in the day was that the woman was your hardiest and your healthiest worker. That is why you had a system of dowry that was put into play. So when a man, a dad, a father, lost his daughter to becoming a bride, you had to give that man compensation, i.e. dowry, for the best employee that he has in his family business and company. So the girls who did this, and they were the ones who were a part of this, they would literally be, in fact, so valuable, would always be the ones making sure that they got the family straight. They went and got the water at the well. They went and got water for washing, for clothes, for dinner, for the whole 9 yards. So being at the well is where you also paid attention to the women that were eligible in the arena. So if a woman was not at the well, usually she would have been one who was betrothed to some degree or married. And if she was married, then there would be a servant accompanying her. This is culture that you guys don't know about because Christians don't study it, but yet we want to talk about the Bible like we know it. So the culture of that would be if there was a married woman going to the well because she didn't have a daughter, she would be accompanied either by a fitting son or a servant of that space, of that house, of that family, just to keep her safe because of the husband's in the field apparently, or wherever his business is, and she's bringing back what she needs to bring back. So they would send the daughter, and that would be usually the case. So everybody knew that at the wells where you saw the girl. Just like today, everybody thinks that at the church is where you're going to find a good woman. Boy, did we mess that one up. I'm sorry. My bad. Father, I repent. Shalona, does that help a little bit?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It brings clarity as to why he went to the well. Thank you.
Good. And Shalona, please make sure you text me back if this program is over so we can get that rescheduled. I know what took place on that, okay?
No problem, I will.
Awesome. All right. So, reading now from verse number 14, do I have a reader? Shalona, would you read for me?
Sure.
Please. Good. So I want you to take it from verse 14, and let's see how far we can get down through this chapter. But was there another thought before we moved on from here? Nobody would have thought? All right, Ms. Shalona, the floor is yours, beloved. Verse 14, let's read it till we get a moment for somebody to think. Go.
And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abram's brother, and her pitcher upon her shoulder, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well, and filled her pitcher, and came up. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my lord. And she hasted, and let down her pitcher upon her head, and gave him drink. And when she had done
given him drink, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also, until they have done drinking. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again unto the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit whether Yahweh had made his journey prosperous or not. And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, Whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bore unto Nahor. She said moreover unto him, We have both straw and provender enough, and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped Yahweh. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh Elohim of my master Abraham, who had not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I, being in the way, Yahweh led me to the house of my master's brethren. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. Keep going.
Anybody got a thought, question? All right, let's rock and roll. Verse number 1, chapter 25. Let's go.
And she's 25. Oh, she said, moreover unto him, We have both straw and provender enough, and room to lodge in. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped Yahweh. And he said,
So did you finish the chapter? Finish the chapter, right? No,
we haven't.
All right, go ahead. Finish where you started, where you stopped on that. Go.
Oh, okay. I think I stopped at 29.
All right, let's go.
And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran unto the men unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and bracelets upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister.
That's all that Joker saw was the money. Gold digging Joker. You notice he come. Ain't nobody else come running out the house but Laban behind when he saw the bracelet, 10 shekels, and some earrings. This Joker, Laban a trip, man. Laban is a trip. He gonna come out the house when he saw money. Ooh, somebody got money. I'm sorry. Go ahead, read the story. Nobody's interested in that. Read on.
His eyes started to glisten. And it came to pass, when he saw the earrings and bracelet upon his sister's hand, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, Thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. And he said, Come in, thou blessed of Yahweh. Wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and the room for the camels.
Hey, mister, how you doing? You gave her that bracelet? Man, come on in. Why are you standing out here? Come on inside. Come take the load off. Okay, keep reading.
And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender to the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him. And there was set meat before him to eat. But he said, I will not eat until I have told mine errand. And he said, Speak on. And he said, I am Abram's servant, and Yahweh had blessed my master greatly. And he has become great, and he had given him flocks, and herds, and silver, and gold, and manservants, and maidservants, and camels, and asses. And Sarai, my master's wife, bare a son to my master. when she was old, and unto him had he given all that he had. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. For thou shalt go unto my father's house and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said to my master, Peradventure, the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, Yahweh, before whom I walk, will send his angel with thee, and prosper thy way. And thou shalt take a wife for my son of my kindred and of my father's house. Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when you comest to my kindred, that if they give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath. And I came this day unto the well, and said, Yahweh Elohim of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink, and she say to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahweh had appointed out for my master's son. And before I had done speaking in mine heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder. She went down unto the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray thee. And she made haste, and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her, and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, from Milcah, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earrings upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hand, and I bowed down my head and worshipped Yahweh. And blessed be Yahweh Elohim of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's daughter unto his son. And now,
Okay, keep reading though. Keep reading.
okay. And now, if you will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me. And if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceeded from Yahweh. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife, as Yahweh had spoken. And it came to pass that when Abram's servant heard their words, he worshipped Yahweh, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, Send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us a few days, at least 10. After that she shall go. And he said unto them, Hinder me not, seeing Yahweh had prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. And they said, We will call the damsel and inquire at her mother. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah their sister, and her nurse, and Abram's servant and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, Thou art our sister, be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And Rebekah arose, and her damsel, and they rode upon the camels, and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac, from the way of the well, Lahairoi, for dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide. And he lifted up his eyes, and he saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, What man walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and it covered herself. And the servant.
So wait a minute. Was she lusting when she seen that guy out in the field? She was like, oh, that's so who that fine man over there?
She lit up.
She little hot sauce. She just lit up. She like, what? And then she gonna ask afterwards, who that guy? Who he is? Who is he? Where he from? What he do? Okay, that was funnier than y'all saying amen too. But all right, go ahead.
We're laughing. And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done.
Wait a minute. That's the master? That's what we're here for?
That's my man.
I didn't know he was that fine. That's what we're here for. Him?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Wait a minute, hold up. Let me fix my makeup. Let me fix my mascara. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait.
Let me cover myself.
Wait. You ain't say you look like that. No, you didn't tell me all that. Who is that? That's him. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining. All of it. Yeah, all of it. The flesh. She wrote the song. Woo! All right. I can't. Fine, but that's who that is. That's who we're here for. Him. That one right here. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
So all I got is two questions for everybody. Thank you for the read. All I got is two questions for everybody. Did this woman, was she in an arranged marriage? Not at all.
No, not at all.
Wasn't arranged, was it?
No.
Did she have say as to whether or not she was going to get married to this guy?
Yes, she did.
Oh, she had authority?
Yes.
So she had some say so.
It wasn't arranged, but it was ordained.
Oh.
So she had everything to do with the decision for her next moves in life, right?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Her, will you marry this man who put the gold on your finger and in your ears? Will you go with him to meet the person who gave him this to come get somebody like you?
Yes.
She didn't say, well, Brother Levon, what you think? Levon like, yeah, go get that money, girl. Go give me my money. Y'all find that funny? But that's the way we make it look like when these weddings are set up that way. We think they're arranged marriages. Levon nasty behind is looking for that bread, though. He did get them 10 camels. Y'all know Abraham loaded. The story sounds different now, don't it? Okay, I'm going to end it right here. So the point was she was in control of whether or not she wanted to marry that gentleman. And with that having been said and that understood, she made the choice to go. She didn't know what she was looking for when she got down there. But when she did see this guy, she was like, who is that?
Shalona.
Who is that? You know? Go ahead, Shalona.
The part, we have a key pause.
Okay, go ahead, Shalona. What you thought?
The part where he said, where they asked him to stay 10 days, Is that significant? Is that a part of the I guess the courting process?
No. Even though we got 10 days for annulment and marriage, no, because they weren't married, they wasn't close to it. That was Laban trying to find a way to think. Because Laban is a slick joker. If you know the story of Laban, you'll know that he tricked Jacob by getting him to think, oh, let me think about it for a little bit. Laban always trying to find a way to scheme and get some money. Yeah. We're gonna send it. This is the hood version. Yeah. Bro, we're gonna send it with you, right? But you know what? Let's give it like 10 days so we can think about some other stuff we can put demands on. Since you did come here looking for, a hottie, let me just put some stuff to this before we let them go. Don't y'all think we should think about this? I mean, we need to research and Google who Abraham really is, how much bread he got, so we can make our dowry more appropriate. What you think? Man, don't hold me up. Let me be about my way. Please, let me go and prosper as Yahweh has prospered me. Just let me out of here. I promise you're going to be fine. Okay, that's your 10 days. Meet up 10 translation. All right.
Thank you.
All right, what's my cue? Quick, what you got?
Marie on YouTube asked this question. Why does it have me make known that she was a virgin, neither have no man known her? I thought virginity was synonymous with not being known by a man.
Also, not being known means she had not been sought for. So that she had not yet been, no one had brought a dowry to the door for her as yet. Wow. She had not known a man. Right. So there had been no inquiry, there had been no set forth. That whole process of marriage, y'all, is completely different than what we understand it to be. And because we are so, deep in our own way, in our own right, we don't really understand the customs of those lands at that time. So that's a significant thing. That's why she did not know a man, in part. Okay? Now, in other areas, it does mean, as you've heard, that a woman did not know a man. It does mean in some instances that she did not, and K-N-E-W, she did not know a man, have sex, or physical interactions with a man sexually. But this is also a reference and a phraseology that means that she had not yet been, a suitor had not come for her as yet. Okay? Good question, Mara Marie. All right, what's the cue?
Daphne.
Go, Daphne. Daphne? She there?
That was just a thought, Apostle. Thank you. I was asking, basically, the servant had to have been raised with Abraham in order for him to understand and to know Abraham's God. Is that?
Yeah, correct. That's a good statement. Good thought. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Good question. Good thought. All right. Anybody else in here?
No, Apostle.
See, Marie.
Thank you. Go, Marie.
One of the things that I love about reading this chapter about the servant was how he blessed Yahweh at every point, at every turn, with every step that he did. He continually gave Yahweh praise from the moment that he uttered the prayer, from the moment that he met Rebecca. He entered the house. He just continually understood that Yahweh was guiding him and leading him. And I think it was just explode completely how when we lean not on our own understanding, but follow him, how he can guide us. And I just love that part in this chapter about that. That's all.
Good identifier. Great point. Most should pay attention to that because it is true. That's how he was actually guided in all of the steps. Great point. All right. Anybody else? All right. Father, we thank you for the reading today of your word. We're asking you to be with us, in us, and through us as we finish one more chapter of your word. We're asking you to give us wisdom and insight to the things that are within these passages that you have given unto us to know from your word. Bless now, I pray you, each and every soul. Grant them a refresh in their mind and even in their dreams
Let your word permeate their souls while they are in their REM state. This I earnestly pray and ask of you in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. We all say and we all pray. Amen. All right, Zion, it's been a joy and a pleasure hanging out with you guys. I pray that Yahweh will bless you and keep you, and that his face will shine upon you, and that you will be able to gleam and shine as his kingdom ambassadors and representatives in the earth. My name is Apostle B.W. Jones. Thank you for tuning in to the Bible Book Club. I hope that you guys will take the opportunity to hit that like sign up top if you are on YouTube or Facebook. Make a comment, share, and subscribe. If you are on Clubhouse, please make it your business to hit that green club that says Bible Book Club at the top of the page, and then like my VW PTR, where the little halos around it because I'm speaking. Hit that, like that, follow me, or like and follow us, at the same time. And then go down on my profile and find the other other clubs that we have. And if you like the way we study, you like the way we read, this is just a reading of the writ. We do studies a little bit differently, but they are all about the word of Elohim. So if you like it, you want to be a part of it, you want to be into it, come on, hit where we are, and wherever we show up, you'll be there as well. Get invitations. We love having you with us. Pray that you have been blessed by tonight and the time that we've used to study and get into the writ. I hope that you all will now walk in the rightness of him that has given all of us life, health, hope, and strength. Yahweh, praise for your lives. We will see you again soon. Shalom Aleichem. Don't forget, those of you rushing and preparing to get into Sabbath, let's prepare. Let us labor to enter in. Shabbat is upon us. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Shalom Aleichem. This room will end in 5, 4, 3, 2, and
Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that this message has been a blessing to your very life and your soul, and more importantly, your walk with the King. Well, we have come to the end. I hope that you would consider becoming either a partner with us in ministry, or if you're not already a kingdom citizen, consider becoming one. By doing that, you can sow into this ministry so that we are able to continue to teach this type of ministry at a grand scale. Join us on all of our social media platforms and visit our webpage to make your contributions sure. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Shalom Aleichem.